Welcome to another fantastic episode of Small Business Celebrations Meat and Potatoes, a show where we do a deep dive into one particular subject with our guest. Plus, Tamala, she's gone off the rails again. This will be fun, but we can't do this without our presenting sponsor and our location sponsor. At Oliver & Associates Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a home isn't just a transaction, but a life moment. That's why they're committed to building relationships that last. They take the time to completely understand your needs, your dreams, your stories, so that you can find not just a house, but a home. Give Oliver Associates a call at 661-808-3444 or check them out at yourrealtor.us today. Today's Meat and Potatoes episode location is brought to you by Modern Gigi Gallery, an ultra-modern art gallery located in downtown Bakersfield, California, featuring the artworks of the modern abstract artist Johnny Ramos. Whether you're looking for artwork for your office, your home, or a postcard that you can send as a thank you note, go to Modern Gigi located at 918th Street in Bakersfield, or give them a call at 661-840-8729 or email them at art@moderngigi.com today. What is it? Now, Tamala, I have this mystery object beneath this cloche that you must figure out what it is.
All right, very mysterious. I'm going to lift the cloche, and underneath is a beautiful handmade granny squared Afghan with lots of beautiful colors, a little bit sunshiny. It's big, brown board. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Do you know what it is?
It's an Afghan.
No, this has to deal with insurance, just like our guest today.
Afghan insurance?
Ooh, no, this is blanket coverage. Welcome to Small Business Celebrations Meat and Potatoes. This week we're going to be talking about that one insurance coverage gap that could absolutely destroy your business. And the guy this week is Isaias Ruiz, the owner of the Isaias Ruiz Insurance Agency. Welcome to Small Business Celebrations Meat and Potatoes.
Thanks for having me, Michael. Good to see you.
And for visionaries who don't know who you are you and what is it that you do?
My name is Isaias with Isaias Ruiz Insurance Agency, and I am your local State Farm agent.
Visionaries, if you watched his episode from a couple of weeks ago, you know that, yeah, he can't write a lot of California coverage. But if you happen to be in Arizona, Nevada, and Oregon,
Yep.
He's your guy.
Yep. We can still write certain policies in California, and it is a little more limited, but in the other states, yeah, we definitely have a lot of offerings to help with.
And Visionaries, you have got to check that episode out because what he did is absolutely brilliant. Great. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that we've been getting a lot of questions from Visionaries asking about more information on, and this is where we're doing the deep dive into the meat and potatoes of things, is coverage gaps. Because this is one of those things that can absolutely destroy a small business. For the Visionaries who aren't familiar, what is a coverage gap?
So a coverage gap is when you have a certain policy that maybe when you first started the policy, you set it up a certain way. And over time, as things have changed in your life, you didn't update that policy.
Your business has grown.
Or you didn't answer the phone when your agent tried to call and get a policy review set up for you.
Right.
And so things change over time, and when it comes to claim time, you know, there could be a surprise if you didn't update your policy as things change.
For hypothetical purposes only, not that any of this has actually happened before, let's go through some basic scenarios of traps that can absolutely destroy a business. Let's start with an easy one. A business owner's entire livelihood is in their truck. All of their tools, all of their equipment, all the stuff that they need to do their business. And they go to lunch and somebody breaks into their truck and robs them blind.
Yep.
Why is this a problem?
Well, it's important because I think about like your business, right? When you first started, you might have started up with maybe 1 or 2 cameras and a couple mics, and you've grown it to what it is today, right?
Right,
Again,
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But you've gotten a lot more expensive equipment, right? So when you first set up your business policy, you may not have had the need to add so much business personal property coverage or business property coverage, right? So you're going to want to adjust that or increase as you start to add to your business.
Because what is the problem if somebody doesn't?
Then you may not have coverage for that, and you may have to come out of pocket for on the
So
policy.
all the money that this person has invested in all their tools, all of their equipment, if they're not properly covered, they could be buying it all again.
Yes.
And if revenue and cash flow isn't there, they may not be in business.
Yeah, so it can really hurt. If not every year, every other year at a minimum, just to make sure that it's updated as you're growing your business. Because the goal in business, right?
Right.
I don't know anybody else that gets into business to not grow,
Right,
But
sure.
that's the goal. So you're going to grow as time goes on.
How does this work if you start adding employees and office space and things like that?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest one, as you were mentioning, that came to mind for me was workers' comp insurance, right? When you don't have employees, right?
Right.
It's not necessary for every type of business, right? Because you don't have any employees, right? But as you grow and you start to add employees, now you need to make sure you get that in place. As a matter of fact, in California, if you have employees, it's mandated that you have workers'
Right.
comp insurance. So
But not necessarily in other states.
right now, there's only 2 states that I was aware of that don't have it. I can't think off the top of my head, but the ones that we work in, they all require it. So.
What is one other trap that a growing business forgets and gets underinsured?
I think the biggest one that I see is going to be their business property. So,
What's that?
Think of maybe a restaurant that started off as a food truck,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then they grow into having a physical location. Then they expand that physical location. Maybe they add a banquet hall. Maybe they add another walk-in,
Right.
right? If you're not updating your policy to include the items that you've added, you're overexposed, right? You're underinsured, right? So
And that could sink you
yes,
real fast.
Yes, right? Because we all know a food truck is a lot less expensive than having a brick and mortar and all the different things that come with it. Not just the walk-ins and the furniture, but your inventory and all that comes with it as well.
But Isaias, I don't have time to go through the 200 and something pages of my policy stuff for a review. How long is this going to take?
Well, that's the good news, Michael, is I have time. So you don't need
For a
to.
small fee.
That's something that you're going to want. If you don't have the time to look at yourself, you want to work with people that do, and
Right.
you want to work with people that are have your best interests at heart, making sure that when you're working with an agent, that they're asking all the right questions in order to. When they're asking those questions, they're not asking to be nosy, right? At least a good agent, right?
Right.
They're asking because they need to understand what your needs are, and then we can then make recommendations based on what your needs are from that information.
Now, are you ready for comments from the internet?
I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
Visioneers, if you're not familiar with the way this works, we take comments from the internet, from his episode, from the social media posts, the shorts, all that stuff, and bring you the creme de la creme. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, your first one comes from Terrain Theory. Terrain Theory. That's an interesting one. Wonder if they're in geology, maybe? I don't know. Terrain Theory. Okay. Anyway, this one says, my client says I need a COI today. What do I send without looking dumb? For the Visioneers who don't know and don't speak insurance, what's a COI?
Insurance jargon, huh? This is so much fun. I love it. COI is a certificate of insurance.
Why would a client be asking the business owner for one of these?
Essentially what it is just proof of coverage. It's a certificate from your insurance provider that shows which policies you have and what they're covering. We get these on a daily basis. Typically, when you're needing a certificate of insurance, is because you're either, if you're a business owner, you're doing business with another business, right? Or if it's a homeowner's property, you need it for your lender to show proof of insurance on your property.
Can you give us an example of a very common need of why somebody would be asking for one of these?
So the one that we get a lot is restaurants, right? So if they cater and they're going to go on site to CSUB, Bakersfield College, right? They're going to require a certificate of insurance to make sure.
Or BC or the location?
Yes, yes, the people that you're doing business with, because you're on their property, right? So they're going to want to make sure you're insured.
Got
so
it.
they're going to request that certificate of insurance. So to answer the question of what do you send to request it without looking dumb, it's really just the information that the person that's requesting it from you needs on the certificate. Because sometimes they'll need their name listed,
Right.
as a certificate holder.
Or they need to know that you've got liability coverage,
Exactly.
slip and fall,
Exactly.
all that
Yep.
sort of thing.
So we get this request on a daily basis, and I think the biggest thing that causes the delays is when we don't have all the information and they need it yesterday, right?
Right. Always need it yesterday.
We're trying to be as quick as we can, but we want to make sure to avoid the delay. If we can get that information on the front end of what needs to be listed on the certificate, we can get that out pretty quickly.
All right, now, Visioneers, I am not a great shot. There's a reason why I was in the marching band and not on the baseball team.
You gotta yell Kobe.
Oh, okay.
Before you shoot it.
All right, let's see. Kobe. Hey!
See? It works.
Yay.
Every time.
Nice. I'm going to steal that and use it
job.
almost every Never Show.
Great job.
Okay, our second one. Lane line leader. Ooh, lane line leader.
Lane
line leader.
Is that horse?
Bowling.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. By the way, if this is you, DM me. I'm curious. Where'd you get this name? Anyway, okay.
To try to figure them out for sure. It's fun to try to figure them out for sure.
Lane line leader says, be honest. Does general liability cover theft or am I screwed?
Oh, so
He's screwed.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that you're going to want to take a look at there is, do you have business property coverage for theft? Because general liability is its own separate coverage.
So the person who's asking is asking because they've got the wrong coverage.
It could be, right? Some business owners call a business owner's policy a general liability policy because that's what's required for certain jobs, right? So going back to the certificate of insurance.
Right.
But if they don't have business property coverage attached to their policy and they have a theft, then there could be.
Well, that takes care of that. Let's see if I can take this. And you said it's Kobe, right?
Kobe.
Okay, and Kobe! Go for 2! Nice! All right. Well, you know what this means.
What does it mean?
Now it's time for the fortune cookie game.
All right.
All right, now Visioneers, if you're not familiar with the way the game works, I have a sealed fortune cookie here in my hand. I have no idea what the fortune inside the cookie is, but more importantly, neither does our guest. And our guest has to take this sealed fortune cookie, open up the seal, open up the cookie, reveal the fortune inside, and add in my business to the end of it. All right, and what is your fortune?
The fortune is seek friendship and you will find it in my business. In my
So
business.
you have you sought out fortunes or have you sought out
fortunes?
Have you sought out friendships?
Yes. I referrals.
Yeah?
We gotta be building relationships always, right? As a business owner, as a professional, I think it's important to build relationships, and they turn into friendships. I think a couple come to mind, and of people that I've started off just networking and seeing each other at different events and out in business, doing business together, and it turns into friendships. So I like it.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, now, Visioneers, now it's time for somebody who's built lots of friendships along the way. So many so that we can hardly go to dinner out in public anymore when she knows somebody and they come by and say hello. It's now time for Off Script with Tamala.
Hi, welcome to Off Script with Tamala. I'm Tamala, and today we are not going to talk about blanket coverage, but we can't do that without our sponsor. Off Script with Tamala is sponsored by Cazador Consulting. Need elite talent to grow your team? Cazador Consulting Group in Bakersfield is your go-to partner in staffing and direct hires. They don't just fill jobs, they build lasting partnerships by listening to your needs and delivering top-tier customer services. At Cazador, mutual success isn't a goal, it's the standard. This is more than staffing. It's building your team so you can build your business. Visit CazadorConsultingGroup.com or call 877-800-4622. That's CazadorConsultingGroup.com or call 877-800-4622. And let's build your future together. Hi, Isaias. Thanks for joining me for Off Script with Tamala.
Thanks for having me.
Ready for having a little bit of fun?
I am.
Can I ask you some hard questions first?
Absolutely.
All right. What is the most rewarding part of having a State Farm agency?
The most rewarding piece is the impact that I can make in a family's life. When I got into this, selfishly, I was like, I want to be a business owner and, have my time freedom and financial freedom. But I realized early on that it was bigger than that. What we do is very impactful, specifically on the life insurance side.
Yeah.
We've had to deliver a couple life claims in my 7 years in business, and each time I'm reminded of how important what we do is
Nice. Good. All right. My trusty little thing here. Have you ever had a claim or situation that felt like it came from a movie?
Man, that's a good one. I did have one unfortunate situation where a customer lost control of an old car that he had, an older vehicle, and he would take it out on Sundays, and he ended up hitting an almond tree out in the orchards. And he was sued not just for the damage of the tree, but for the income that it would have generated.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like that's just bad luck, right?
Yeah.
So that's one that comes to mind, but I'm sure, I mean, we've had so many I can't think of. But
and I put you on the spot.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay. All right. What advice would you give to Californians who are now shopping for insurance now that State Farm no longer covers Californians?
Yeah, so we and I just want to make sure I clarify, we do still cover existing policyholders.
Oh, okay.
We're just not taking new applications for property insurance right now.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misconceptions with that, so just want to make sure I clarify that. But what I do recommend, what advice I have is I would say to definitely take a look at the policy coverage that you're setting up for your property, right? I know price is important. We all have a budget and we all want to stay within the budget, but the last thing you want to do is put everything you've worked so hard at risk just to save some money on the front end, right? So take a look at your coverage, ask a lot of questions, and make sure that you're doing business with someone who has your best interest and is asking you a lot of questions. So if your agent is asking questions that you don't really hear with a lot of other agents, it's probably a good sign, right? Yeah,
that's good. That's good information. Okay, can you tell me what the most misunderstood part of insurance is?
The most misunderstood part of insurance, man, that's a good one.
I don't understand any of it. So
Yeah.
For me,
all of it.
It's all of it, yeah.
Definitely, I think the biggest thing is understanding what it does versus like what it's called, like what the name of the policy is, right? Because that's our job to teach customers, like, we talked about the insurance jargon earlier, right?
Right.
Remove the insurance jargon and explain to me what it does for me.
In layman terms.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the biggest misunderstanding because most people don't know, right?
Yeah, because you guys do have your own jargon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense to you.
We need to learn it to pass the exam and get our license.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that was a lot of information. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, you want to play some games with me?
I do. I'm excited.
Okay. I'm going to pull out this little wheel, and you are going to spin it, and then our producer, Michael, is going to tell us what it lands on, and then we will play that game.
All right. As a naturally competitive person, how do I win?
By being here. You've already won.
All right. Just kidding.
I'm not.
I'm pretty
Spin the
competitive.
wheel.
All right.
Support.
Support. Who has been your biggest supporter in you opening your agency?
Oh, that's easy. My wife.
I knew you were going to say your wife.
That she is. Today I had a crazy schedule, and not only did she come bring me lunch, but it's one of my team members' birthday tomorrow, and she brought her a birthday cake and balloons and made sure we celebrated, and she takes care of the house and the kids, and I love her.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so good. That warms my heart. I'm so glad. We got to be there for our spouses, right?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right. Spin that wheel.
2 truths and a lie.
I knew this was going to happen.
All right. 2 truths and a lie. I'm going to tell you 2 truths and 1 lie. You're going to try to figure out which one I'm lying about, and then you get to do it.
All right.
All right. We're going to get to know each other a little bit.
All right.
All right. I have a surfboard that I like to go surfing on.
Okay.
I have a motorhome that I like to go camping in, and I have a little blue Element that I like to take everywhere. It's a little Honda.
Okay. I think I heard you say that you surfed before. So I'm going to say that the surfboard is the truth. I don't know. You mentioned earlier that you have a tendency of doing the lie last and you're not going to do it this time. So I'm going to go with the middle one as a lie.
So I don't have a motorhome?
You don't have a motorhome.
Oh,
man.
I do have a motorhome, but I do not have a surfboard.
Oh, I thought I heard you say you surfed.
I said I used to skateboard.
Skateboard,
Yes,
that's what it was. Okay.
yes.
See, Visioneers, somebody who watches the show and pays attention.
Yay! That's so fun. Okay, your turn.
All right. I'm going to go with, I'm the oldest of 11 siblings.
Okay.
I have 5 pets, and I went to 9 different schools by the time I hit 8th grade.
Wow. Okay. 5 pets. Are they like your general dog, cat?
Dogs, cats.
Dogs, cats. I kind of believe that because you have kids.
Yep.
How many kids you have?
I have 2.
2 kids. Oh, 5 pets and 2 kids. That's a reach.
We're outnumbered.
11, huh? 11? No. Is your family military? Is that why you moved around so much?
No.
No. Okay, I think you didn't move around so much. I believe that you're 11 kids.
Okay, so you believe the 11 siblings?
Yeah.
And the 5 pets?
And the 5 pets. But I don't think you moved around 8
All
times
right.
before you were,
So-
or whatever it was.
I did go to 9 different schools by the time I hit 8th grade.
Darn it.
I don't have 5 pets, I have 3. So I'm the oldest of 11 total siblings.
Okay.
And I have 3 pets, 2 dogs and a cat. And
Okay.
we are outnumbered.
Yes, yes, okay.
And that's why he wanted to know how he would win the game.
Yes.
Right? He doesn't.
First child.
Okay, spin that wheel.
Cartoon.
Cartoon. If you could be any cartoon character, who would it be and why?
Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter, are you science-y?
I like to think I am, but I wish I was as smart as him and
Yeah.
could build things. So yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have an annoying sister in ballet slippers?
She was too little. She was the small sister, the baby of
Yeah.
the family. So I had annoying brothers.
Annoying.
So,
brothers.
yeah.
All right, that's fair. Okay, Dexter. I would not have pegged you for Dexter.
First
Okay.
cartoon that came to mind.
All right, go ahead and spin that wheel.
All right.
What is it?
What is it? Dun, da, 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 da. So Michael's going to bring over a cloche, and underneath that cloche is a hidden object,
Okay.
which you are going to tell us what it is.
Fancy.
Fancy. Lift the cloche and describe what you find to our non-viewing listeners.
Radio.
Yes, to the radio.
All right. This looks like it's like a round piece of steel with holes in it and a little handle in the center, and it collapses up. But when you pull it up, well, it opens up. So maybe like a steamer for like broccoli or something.
You're right. This is called a flour steamer. This vegetable steamer started life as a stacked bamboo basket in ancient Asia, but eventually had a mid-century glow up into this metal flower-shaped version. The petals open to fit almost any pot, letting steam do all the work while keeping veggies bright and tender, proof that sometimes the simplest tools age the best. This flour version was created in the 50s and 70s. It was really popular, and it's good for veggies, dumplings,
I was
fish.
just gonna say, I think my wife makes
Do
dumplings.
fish and even tamales, they say. And if you look at the bottom here, it has these 3 little legs that fold up, and that's where the water goes under there to keep the veggies from drowning.
Yep.
And then you can use this handle to pull it out of the pot so you don't burn yourself.
All right.
Yeah, so that is a steamer.
Cool.
All right. Woo, do we have time for more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, more.
Wild card.
Ooh, wild card. I'm gonna pull a slip of paper out of a little box and I'm gonna read you a question and you're going to answer it or expand on it or whatever, however you want to do it. Okay?
All right.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Soup.
Soup.
Yes.
More.
Ramen, pho, caldo, in Mexican soup.
Abondiga?
Albondiga's not my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah, not my favorite. But I like pozole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think of when I think of comfort food on a cold day and I want to warm up, I just get
Yeah.
a little comfort, little soup and put on Dexter's Laboratory and just takes
When
me back to my childhood.
When I order pozole, it's always no patas.
No patas.
No patas. Okay, let's see. Here we
Now I
go.
want soup.
Yeah. If you could teleport anywhere right now, where would you go?
Hawaii would be nice. We
Yeah.
we took our kids last year and they loved it. So great memories. So yeah.
Wonderful. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Well, I'm up for teleporting to Hawaii. Huh?
Yeah, let's
you?
do it.
Yeah.
No, I hate Hawaii.
Lies.
No.
Okay. Should we do one more of those or should we? Yes. Okay. All right. If you were invisible for a day, what would you do? Would you get into some mischief?
No, I would.
No?
I would just go somewhere and be alone, or just go to a cafe and not have to worry about nobody talking to me or me having to just relax. Because as a business owner and a dad and a husband and a son and a brother, Someone's
Your
always
social.
Yes. My battery.
Thank you.
Yes,
Is max.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you're always, you know, in the industry we're in, we're always meeting with people and talking to people. So me time
is minimal.
is very it's rare. So
Aw.
yeah.
Eat some soup in a corner.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
invisible. Spoon invisible. All right. One more game. Let's do one more game.
Desert Island.
Desert Island. All
Something
right.
tells me he's prepared.
Yeah, he was mentioning that he planned ahead for this one. All right, so the rules of this game, you are going to live on a desert island. There's already water there, fresh water. And you can bring 3 items with you to survive.
A boat, gas, and a GPS.
Well, he just rattled those off.
Well,
Find my way back home.
what if you were on an island like
Trapped.
Wilson and you couldn't get past those waves on your little boat with your gas engine and your GPS?
Then I guess I would take my camera because I like cameras and I'll be able to record what's going on and leave it behind if I don't make it.
Island vlogging.
Yeah. I would take some kind of music MP3 player, and you said water's already on there, so I don't know. It's a good. I planned for the.
You did.
Yeah.
And then I threw a curveball.
Yeah,
at
you did. You threw a curveball at me. Something a plant that can keep giving me food.
Oh, smart. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. Well, this was a pleasure getting to know you and playing our little games. Now, if Visioneers would like to get a hold of you, please share your info with this camera right here.
Yeah, so if you want to get a hold of me, you can call me at 661-637-1060, or you can stop by our office at 1400 Easton Drive, Suite 127. Say hi, stop by, and pick up a free gift. We have little freebies that we like to give to customers that walk in. So,
If you enjoyed this as much as I did, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next week.